What's up, everybody? George, the Disney Italiano here with Abby. We're here in our room at the Cabana Bay Beach Resort Hotel,
Finally.
finally at Universal Orlando Resort. And yeah, this is technically our night one, but really should be our night three. Yeah, that's pretty sad. But still counting my blessings. I'm here. We're here
Yes.
together. Um, Went through a little turmoil for all of you who follow us on Instagram. But for all of you who don't, I'll kind of keep this brief. On May 21st, on our way down to Orlando, while on our connected flight, I started uh, experiencing severe sharp pain in the lower left part of my back into my lower left abdomen, and didn't really think nothing of it. By the time we checked into the hotel, I could take a lot of pain. Trust me, I was married to my ex-wife for 10 years. I can handle pain, folks. But this time I had to wave the white flag. I told Abby it's like I can't take it. So we went to the nearest hospital that I could find, which is in Claremont. It's the Orlando Health
South Lake Hospital.
South Lake Hospital, which is phenomenal. I don't want to see anybody in the hospital, but if you have to be in the hospital while you're in the Orlando area, that hospital will take care of you.
They were great.
Yeah, they were phenomenal. Every single person, from the doctors to the nurses to the faculty to the staff, everybody. They were phenomenal. But it turned out that I have a kidney stone that's basically blocked in between where my bladder is and where my left kidney is. And that little sucker just doesn't want to come out. And unfortunately, the urethra pathway of mine is narrow, just like my esophagus is narrowed. Everything on me is narrowed, but not my stomach and gut. Like, can I get that narrowed a little bit? So they ended up putting a stent in to kind of opening up the passageway. Now the stone is still stuck in there; they couldn't reach it, but this stent will now expand the urethra passageway for them to, when they remove the stent, they can take the instrument and remove the stone along with it. So, um, in somewhat discomfort, but I'm still in high hopes. I'm still having fun. It's not hindering anything of how I'm feeling towards this vacation. There are some things I have to alter and limit. Um, and also, too, it did hinder the first 2 nights of our Universal section of the trip, which, again, we lost 2 nights of staying at Cabana Bay, unfortunately. However, we were told that our ticket that we were going to use for um, Universal Studios, we can use that up till the 27th. So our check-in date at Walt Disney World is on the 25th. We have nothing planned that day except, I believe, a reservation at the boathouse at Disney Springs, but that's not till later in the evening. So we kind of figured to skip out on the free day at one of the water parks, because I can't really do that anyway. So and use the second Universal Park ticket on the 25th. So we got that covered. Then found out that because of all my issues and being in pain when checking in at the Cabana Bay, I lost my backpack. And everything in the backpack was my life, my livelihood. It had all my important personal documentation for the cruise. It had the laptop, which I am speaking to you now on. It had all my recording equipment, my medication, everything in there was my my silky red basketball shorts. Like, I mean, like, some serious stuff here, folks. But it turns out that, and I asked down at Cabana Bay, the guest services, if it was here. They called, they said no. I'm thinking, okay, did I leave it on the plane? Did I leave it at the airport? Did I leave it in the Uber? And it took us literally 5.5 hours trying to make calls, have people help us, and literally, it was here all along. several people, including my boy OG, Mademoiselle, a couple of you, I believe, not messaged me, but mentioned on Instagram. Even Abby thought of looking it up, that seeing if my phone can locate the laptop, because the laptop was in the backpack. Sure enough, it did. It said it was 0.1 miles away, and it said Adventure Way, and I'm like, oh, that's where we are, so it has to be in Lost and Fun. And guess what? Sure enough, it was. But my issue was, why did it have to take me 5.5 hours to then bring it up on my phone for someone to actually do their job and look? Anywho, so got that out. But everything's fine. We're back. We are ready. And so I actually, last minute, I said to Abby, we went to Islands of Adventure. We went kind of late, but we already had reservations at Mythos. We'll actually talk about that in a little bit, because it was Abby's first time at Mythos.
Mhm.
And I said to her, I said, would you like to go live with me tonight? I think everyone would like to maybe jump on and, see how we're doing, especially with all the chaos that's been going on, especially for everyone who follows us on Instagram. So I want you to know that we're surviving Orlando, and thank you to everybody for your thoughts, your prayers, your good vibes, your kind words, your support, everything. Honestly, it means the world to me to know that there's a community that has your back, and you don't really think about it, until something a little bit drastic kind of, comes. So I appreciate every single one of you. So, okay. So I am so sorry. I was kind of neglecting the chat here. So let's see everyone here. We got Mark McHugh. So glad you recovered from your surgery, George. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We got the lovely Ward. And we also have the lovely and lifesaver, Mademoiselle.
Thank you.
Mr. Theme Park Conductor. Thank you so much, Mr. Theme Park Conductor. Yes, I think I do look pretty damn good. I think after, especially just going through surgery, I think.
It's day one of recovery.
Yes. Oh, yep. Ex-wife joke number 1. Love it. And we have, let's see, the Giant Peter Show. The Italiano is back. I am back, baby. Oh, and speaking of which, unfortunately, the first 2 nights, we couldn't do any kind of content. This is actually the first thing that we're actually doing. However, we did move Epic Universe. We were supposed to have the grand opening for Epic Universe. But you know what? Honestly, it was already opened anyway. So at this point, it doesn't really matter. So I did move the date. And we had the Express Pass, which that was worrying me because I spent $554 on those. And luckily, they had openings on the 24th. Now, it was a $85.20 upcharge, but I paid it because I'm thinking I'd rather spend $85 than lose $554. So, not sure if we're probably just going to use them anyway because, I bought them. But good friend Jared from Capture the Magic said it was kind of light today. Not today. But yesterday, there was not a lot of people for wait times for anything. Seems like everybody was waiting to get on Ministry, and they were waiting like 2 to 3 hours in line, and it only worked for 30 minutes in the day. That's ouch.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Giant Peter Show says, were there any rides that you weren't able to do at IOA due to the surgery? My friend's dad couldn't do anything at Universal Hollywood after his accident happened. And his name is George, too. Oh, geez. Well, so sorry about your friend's dad. Well, a good question, Peter. Actually, yes, I was told to not go on anything that's very, how do I put it? Like, vigorous, very, like, fast, jerky movie motion, which basically it's everything here at Universal. However, we did get on Spider-Man today.
Yeah.
And we got on Kong.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool. But at the time we got in, I didn't actually think we were going to get on anything. And both Kong and Spider-Man were 15 minutes, where actually Kong was basically a walk-on. Yeah. There was no wait at all. And Spider-Man was very little. So any rides, obviously, like Velocicoaster, The Incredible Hulk, Dr. Doom's Fearfall, like things like that, probably not. Now,
Just because he has a fresh new stent
It's
in
fresh,
there.
yeah. So for Walt Disney World, it'll be several days later. I will still be cautious, but I might want to do a few things. Like I really wanted to do Everest. I know that's kind of teetering a little bit. I'll see how I am during the day. Cosmic Rewind, I'll risk it.
Yes.
Yes.
I will survive it.
Yes.
We'll see.
Rock and Roller Coaster, no. Tower of Terror, that's teetering a little bit. Probably I could do Slinky Dog. So things like that, I should be okay with. And as time's going on, I'm starting to see a difference in, how everything is, as they say in the Haunted Mansion, materializing. Let's see. Lene Ward. Hank Hill also has a narrow urethra. Yes, he does. And actually, you know who also has one too is Bill Engvall. For all of you who don't know, the comedian from the Blue Collar Comedy Tour with Jeff Foxworthy and Ron White and Larry the Cable Guy. He actually told his story, obviously as in joking form, but he told his story during a comedy skit. It's on one of the, I think it was the Blue Collar Comedy Tour on the road again. I think it was. But yeah, sure enough, I had to have a narrowed urethra where a freaking kidney stone can't come through. Go figure. Giant Pierce, right after you posted your video about finding the bag, I got a massive 6-inch cut on my left leg due to glass. Oh no! Ouch! So sorry, Peter. I hope it wasn't too deep. That's what she said. Sorry. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Giant Peter show. I actually was joking to Abby about this, but I'm joking, but yet I'm serious because I actually went down to guest services and told them the situation. They said anything that we can do to make your stay more comfortable. I'll be like, yeah, can you give me credit for 2 more nights? Because honestly, if they did that, I would book another vacation. Now, obviously, we can't extend our trip, but I would book a vacation to say I'll add more days if you can comp me 2. For the nights that I couldn't use, because technically the room was empty. I paid for, we didn't even stay in it. So honestly, I might go and ask to see if they can do something, maybe even like refund a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. If not, it's no biggie, but I was always brought up to say it doesn't hurt to ask. We got Shane Narani in the house. Hi. Sorry you're going through this. Hope you have a speedy recovery. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I am feeling better as time goes on. So thank you so much. I think we all have silky red basketball shorts. Aren't they the best? You could just like air out and everything. Let's see here. Giant Peter show. Mythos is quite literally God mode. Yes, it is. Mythos was phenomenal. I love Mythos. 2 of my favorite things to get is for the appetizer, I get the char-grilled octopus leg, and I get the scallops with the mushroom risotto. I always get that. Then the server recommended for dessert the bread pudding, and it had vanilla ice cream with it, which phenomenal. That's what I got. And then Abby ended up getting,
I got the calamari for the appetizer, and then the beef loin medallion for my entree, and then the ooey gooey.
What was it, like a
cake with had like peanut butter, ice cream, and then like this really good like chocolate cake and some sliced up bananas. It was really good. It was all really good. I usually order more with my eyes than my stomach, but I finished everything. I was so hungry because 2 days of wonderful hospital food. So yeah, that was my first actual meal on vacation. So I ate it all. It was so good. And I liked the restaurant itself. It was really nice in there. So highly recommended.
Yeah, for Mythos, I absolutely love the aesthetics, the vibe, the contrast of like how that restaurant is built. It's phenomenal. The food is great. It is pricey, but you get what you pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's what's keeping the Lost Continent alive, literally,
I know.
because there's no more dueling dragons that became Hagrid's that got extended off to Harry Potter. They closed down the Eighth Voyage of Sinbad stunt show, and they closed the Poseidon's Fury. So it's like Mythos is the only thing left holding that land up, and
He's afraid that they're
I'm
going to
afraid they're
close
gonna.
it.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's. I feel like obviously they'll keep the restaurant, but it'll be rethemed to whatever the Lost Continent becomes, But we'll see. We'll see in time how that works. But everything that we had tonight, honestly, the whole entire mythos, 5 out of 5.
It
Now
was so good.
we would have done a food um, review for you guys, like kind of like the yuck and yum kind of thing. But unfortunately, we couldn't because at the time when we had to leave and I got my bag, I couldn't charge any of the mics or anything. So I kind of figured, we'll talk about it on here, being that we couldn't actually film a video.
Mm-hmm.
But I will be filming tomorrow at Epic
Epic.
Universe.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try to experience as much as we can first, and then we'll get to recording some things. And I I am saying might, no promises. I might go live. We'll see how that
We'll
goes.
see.
Let's see. We got Suman Sani. I apologize if I am mispronouncing that. Join late, but so happy to see you. Abby is wonderful for you, and I wish you the best. Your appearance is all we need. Don't worry about the content. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
That's really
you.
sweet. That was really nice. But yeah, I'm so glad that that I can make a difference to everyone, that when I do make content and are able to do lives and talk to you guys in real time, that it makes a difference for you, that's what I'm contributing to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really cool. We got Tommy Toon World here, the Italiano back in action. Enjoy the trip. Thank you, Tommy.
You.
Appreciate it. And let's see, we have ISIS here, and hopefully they leave Mythos right where it is. I agree. Yes,
It was really good.
I agree.
It was the first time I've ever eaten there, and it was good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Peter. So now that George can't go on Stardust, are we going to see Abby go on it? Probably not. She probably won't go on without me, because it was funny. I was talking to OG and I was telling him all like my restrictions. So he said, so no Hulk, no Coaster, no Stardust. And I'm like, no. And he was like, oh, Abby's probably saying yes. She was willing to try it. But I do know like sometimes a lot of like those big coasters makes her sick. And I didn't want that to ruin her day. So, and I'd hate to go on a ride and just kind of like leave her sitting, if we were with other people and she can be occupied with, talking to someone, that's different. But I really wanted to experience Stardust. It really looked cool. But it's still too soon. I can't risk it. But it'll give me something to look forward to come back.
And he already experienced my gouging his arm during the takeoff and landing
Yes.
of the flight.
Yes. That is very true.
I have really bad flight anxiety, and he just didn't know that.
No, I didn't. I know she had anxiety like when I flew, like because she couldn't get in contact with me, but I didn't know. I thought like, oh, she's a pro. She flew to Hawaii, she flew back and everything. Oh, we're good. And like, no, I didn't know it was that bad. Sorry. But hey, it is what it is. Let's see here. We got Lucas and Disney. Hey, George is fine and alive from the kidney stone. Yeah, yes. I survived.
Yes.
Lene, Abby, you are amazing. That must have been wild to have to go back to a healthcare facility while attempting to be on vacation. I know. I said the same thing. It's like I told her, I said, I'm so very sorry. You literally left work to go into a work setting, basically, after flying.
Yeah, very different though, being on the other side. But our nurses loved it because whenever he would need something or something would alarm, I would
They
take
had
care
her
of it
do it.
right away.
Yeah, they had
They
her
didn't
do
even
it.
go in there.
Yeah, they're like, oh, yeah, you can do it. You're fine. You got it.
Okay.
I see. Did you know that roller coasters can drop kidney stones? The more intense it is, the more effective it will be. They did actually mention that, and I do know Max, Mr. Cheesy Pop, actually did a video on his channel where he had a kidney stone, and he rode on the back of Big Thunder, and he said he passed it either that day or the next day.
We just can't
the
have
problem,
him do it. Just
yeah, the
because
problem
he now
is I have a
a
stent.
stent, and
Yeah.
it can't be dislodged with all the movement.
Yeah.
Because it's a fresh stent.
Yeah. So once the stent is in there for some time, then I still have to be careful, but I can do a little bit more. But by that time, we'll probably be on the cruise, which that'll be the relaxation time. Yeah, so if it was just the stone, or if it was like not stuck where they had to put in a stent, and it just needed to just come out, then yeah, obviously I would say, yeah, let's roller coaster all the way, man.
Yeah, because he was like trying to really like fight it. He's like, "Do I really need the surgery?" He said, "Yes, you do."
Yeah. I'm like, okay. Let's see. My sister gets flying anxiety so bad. A lot of people do, honestly. It's a very common. It's a very common thing. I think it's just for me. I've flown so many times, especially after being like starting my relationship with Abby. Like a lot of constant like back and forth and everything. So it's like putting on a pair of pants, or with me taking them off. We got Jacob Weller in the house. What's up, Jacob? He survived the onslaught of celebrities. Yes. Let's Giant Peter show. Whenever I think of kidney stones, I think of the episode where Joey had kidney stones while visiting Phoebe in the hospital. Yes, I remember. You know what? It was funny because we watched an episode of Friends while I was in the hospital. That would have been funny if that would have been the episode. Because what was funny was, I have to admit, I'm not the best person when it comes to drinking water. And I have been better. I've been trying. It's a tough habit to break, but they're constantly saying drink more water, drink more fluids. And then sure enough, a commercial comes on of Smart Water. I've never seen that commercial before in my life, and I'm like,
but it's when he can't drink anything.
It's when I couldn't drink anything. I was craving water, and I'm like, you're kidding me, right? Like, it's going to stare me in the face when I can't drink anything.
So they told him that he couldn't have anything midnight yesterday. And then we were hoping his surgery would happen at 7 a.m. our time. And they were like, okay, maybe 9 a.m. Eastern time. It kept getting pushing back and back. And then luckily we had a doctor that knew that we were on vacation. We were hoping to continue our vacation and go home, that they were able to squeeze us in yesterday so we can get out and discharged today. Because one doctor was trying to say we might have the surgery actually postponed even more, and it would have been today in the afternoon. So
yeah, which even the rest of our IOA day would have been shot.
Yeah.
And I still wouldn't have even known that my backpack was gone.
So the nurse was even surprised. She was like, it's really good thing that you got squeezed in for tonight, because the other people's, because he was number 4
with the kidney stones. It was a stones kind of night.
But he was chosen to be squeezed in. And
I won the lottery ticket.
Yes. And she said the other ones were canceled. So
yeah.
But thank you all for your kind words and your prayers and everything. It was very supportive and encouraging while he was in the hospital. Like, kept both of our spirits up
Yeah.
because yeah.
Yeah, it was tough. It was a tough 2 days for sure. Lucas, got to start being healthy, man. Can't keep eating turkey legs. Of course. Here's the thing with me. I think one of my biggest Achilles heels is actually sugar drinks. Big time. I can stop them for a while, but it's like once I have one, I'm hooked, and that's like bad. But as I said, from the discomfort and pain, and I'm just gonna come right out and say it, hell that I went through. All I have to do is just think of that, and I'll crave water. So I don't have to
Because
like.
you should have seen him on the flight from Texas to here. He was sweating.
Oh, I felt like
He
I was
was like,
dying.
how much longer? How much longer?
I was really close to honestly telling one of the stewardess to tell the pilot I need to have an emergency landing. I didn't know if I could make it. I asked her how much longer. She said 40 more minutes. Then I asked her again. She said 30. I'm like, oh my God, this is like so long. And then when we finally touched down, I was like, and it's so weird that when you're in that amount of pain, everything is moving in slow motion. So to everybody else, it was probably a quick 2 hour and 18-minute flight because that's how long it was. But for me, it felt like quadruple the amount. When we were getting the Uber, it felt like it took forever. When the Uber was driving to the hotel, it felt forever. When we were getting checked in, it felt like it was taking forever. That's probably why I didn't even pay attention that I left my backpack down there. And it was just walking to the room. It was just unbearable. And then by the time we got to the room, we were in here for like 10 or 15 minutes. I had Abby like rub my back, try to see if because we kind of knew that's what it was before we even got the diagnosis. We kind of figured it was a kidney stone, from Abby's, knowledge of being a nurse. I called my mom. She's prone to having kidney stones. As soon as I said my lower back, she knew it was a kidney stone right off. So, but I called my mom. I told her, I was like, I'm going to a local hospital. I said, I can't do this. And so yeah. But yeah, I'm glad that it did happen, because if it didn't, I could have had severe kidney damage without even knowing, because it showed no signs. Had I not gone on the plane, the elevation is what forced the pain in my back. That I could have just been walking around, that I possibly could have got a really bad infection, and it could have been more severe.
The ER doctor was surprised that it was blocking, but it didn't cause a bad infection where he needed to stay even longer for the antibiotics. So
Yeah,
it was caught early enough.
yeah. Lene says, I gave Mark the most disapproving look because the first thing he said after learning you had kidney stones was, oh, he had to go to the hospital because Big Thunder is closed in Disney World. Yes. Yes. Love it. Giant Peter show. I drink like 8 to 10 bottles of water a day. Good for you, because that's what they're telling me to. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I drank 2.5 glasses of water during dinner. I'm proud of myself. And I actually drank a little bit more water before we started the show. I'm trying. I'm doing my best, folks.
Yeah, he has a hard time with the water.
Yeah. Jacob says, my dad had kidney stones twice after going to Universal Studios with me. It's scary. It really is. You honestly, these things are so microscopic. They're so tiny, but they give you the biggest punch of pain. I can't even honestly describe it. If you can literally think of a dagger or like a butcher knife literally going into your flesh and twisting and turning, that's how bad it is. It's like you can't, it feels like you can't breathe, you can't think, you can't focus, you can't talk. It's like, why couldn't my ex gotten one? Like, because it was like, because she could have a little bit, just saying. No, but honestly, in all seriousness, I even said this. I wouldn't wish this pain that I had on my worst enemy. I really wouldn't. That's how bad that pain was. Plus, I had to do another ex-wife joke. Number 2. See, Shane Narani says, I have problem with heights. I go on roller coasters wondering why I'm doing this to myself while going up at the beginning. And then I end up loving it in the process. That is true. That is so very true.
That's why I usually say I'm willing to try things at least once to see how it makes me feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is true. I think that's the thrill of a roller coaster. It's like, you're like, okay, I'm so pumped, I'm ready. But I think it's when you go like clicking up that first hill and you're looking up and you're like, why did I do this? And then you like reach that top and you're like tipping over. And then once you go down that first and then you get that adrenaline and you're like, okay, we're going through this now. Now you start like screaming and like laughing and everything. Or you can have a roller coaster where it starts off like a fire jet, but it doesn't start right away, but you know it's coming. And it's like, oh my gosh, like how, like, oh my gosh, it's going to like do it, because Velocicoaster on steroids, Cosmic Rewind going backwards. You did know that, right?
That it goes backwards.
It starts out backwards. It shoots backwards. Okay, so she didn't know that. Tron, and then also Manta down at SeaWorld San Diego. They all have like the launching type of thing, so it's like when you anticipate that boom, 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 boom. Oh, also the Incredicoaster as well. Rock and Roller Coaster too. There you go. Let's see, where are we? I see Giant Peter show. To be honest, my sister was screaming for dear life for her first time on Slinky Dog. You know what's funny is Slinky Dog has some gusto to it. It really does. Like they say it's for kids, but I think it has like that wild to mild like teeter where it's like you're trying to get like someone adjusted to a roller coaster, but it has just that enough of, punch.
Okay.
I love Slinky Dog, by the way. Let's see, Lene. We grew up in the 80s and 90s. We didn't drink water. I don't remember ever drinking water, like maybe a little sip from the water fountain. But other than that, none. I tell you, Lene, my mom has been trying to get me for years to drink water. And she's like, as you're getting older, you're going to notice, you're going to see. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. I know, like, I know how much I'm, intaking and everything, but really, no, I don't. But no, you're right. Like, I grew up on like High Seas and Capri Suns, and in PA we call them Huggies. But everyone, you probably know them as like the barrels, the juice barrels. But actually in Pittsburgh they sell them. They're called Huggies.
I know, he was like, do they sell Huggies? I was like, the diaper? You want to drink a diaper?
It's like, no. Let's see. Lene, you can say your trip so far really rocked. Yes. It's really rocky. Very rocky.
But today it felt like we actually did part of our vacation.
Yeah, it actually felt like
we were able to get on 2 rides and have our dinner. So
yeah, it definitely felt like today, day 3 became our day 1.
Yeah.
But it could have been worse because it could have been nothing at all. So I'm glad that it only took 2 days, and honestly 2 days that really we could actually get the 1 day back because we weren't planning on doing anything on the 25th. Mm-hmm. So we're going to use our second park ticket for the 25th. So technically we only lost, well, basically everything we lost is just the 2 nights at the hotel. Mm-hmm. That's basically what we lost. Jacob says, I don't like Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey.
Oh, I did not like that either.
Oh, you're not a fan of Forbidden Journey?
No.
Oh, okay.
It gives me a headache.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
See, Jacob, that ride still gets me sick and chills. I have to close my eyes. Interesting. So it must be like just, I guess, the movement.
Yeah.
We have Mouseward Bound. Great to see you back, man. I've done the kidney stone thing before. It sucks. Yeah, it's not fun. As I said, just having a kidney stone's bad enough, and then when you have to get a stent put in, it's oh man.
He
And
was fine after the fentanyl.
the
He loved
fentanyl,
it.
the fentanyl was good.
And then a couple hours later, it kind of like wore off. And then he's like, oh, it's painful.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was.
Unfortunately, they wouldn't let me into the recovery room because his mom was like, if he says anything stupid, record him. I was like, okay. Yes, mom.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
Thanks, mom. That would have been.
She's like, once he comes out of the surgery, record him if he has anything stupid to
Which
say. I was like, I will.
Oh, she would have, because before they called me back, there was a. Forgive me, but I have to tell this story. So whoever this was, I do apologize. We're not making fun of you, but it actually lightened up my day because I was ready to go into surgery. But there was a woman that came out of surgery, and she was baked in whatever narcotics they gave her. That she must have been dreaming of like old MacDonald had a farm, because she was literally making farm animal sounds. And it was like the way she was doing it, but she was happy doing it. She was like belting it out. She was singing it, but she was singing duck, and she was singing monkey, and it was like oh my god, it was hilarious.
And then a choo-choo train.
Oh, and then she did a choo-choo train. Yeah. So shout out to Mr. Seymour Duck and Theme Park Conductor on that one.
Yeah, but we heard her next door while he's prepping for surgery. He's like, am I going to come out that way? I was like, I don't know, but if you do, I'm going to film it.
Yeah, she would have.
Yeah, mom was like, if he says anything stupid, film it. I was like, okay. But no, they didn't let me in.
Yeah, so Lord knows what I was saying, but I guess we'll never know. Crawford's on the go. Welcome in. First time in the chat. Great to see you. Let's see. At that point, what did you think was wrong?
He was hoping it was a pinched nerve.
Yeah. I was kind of. Here's the thing, because I felt what a nerve felt like before, or like a muscle pain, and it didn't feel that way, but I was hoping that it would have been, because it's like, okay, we'll just give you some like muscle relaxer, or like something like just maybe a heating pad, take some Tylenol, some Motrin, you're good to go. And I thought, you know what, it has to be a kidney stone. I didn't want it to be, but then the doctor came back and said, yes, it is a kidney stone. I thought, okay, I guess I just got to pass it. But nope, it didn't end there. It was like, nope, it's stuck, and we have to admit you into the hospital for surgery.
Yeah,
and I'm like, great.
She asked the specialist what she should do about it, and because some of his labs were concerning, they were like, nope, we got to do the surgery tomorrow. So.
Yeah. Giant Peter Show. Did Abby give Vicks Vapo Rub? No, she hasn't, but that was actually an important question that I asked. I mean, obviously I can't right now, but I said, how does intimacy work in this? And they said there's really no timing. It just depends on how you feel. But I mean, obviously, if I can't go on Stardust, I can't, unfortunately, but right now, but yeah, so we'll see. We'll play it by ear or by something else. ISIS. Let's see. I worked ER for a couple years. I was told multiple times it is the second worst pain right after giving birth. That is true, because I've heard that, and I'm not saying because I've experienced that. I haven't, but I've been told like it's just as bad, or if not worse, depending on giving birth. So if this is what giving birth feels like, ladies, I commend you. Especially if you have multiple children. God bless you.
Yeah, that thing's painful.
Because us men, that's why God made women to bear children. Because he knew when he made us, we wouldn't have a civilization of a population of humanity. No, we would not do with it. Let's see. Mademoiselle, Good it didn't happen while you were at sea. Yes, actually, a lot of other people, even the staff, was saying that it was a good thing it didn't happen during the cruise because several things would have happened. Either I would have had to endure the 5 nights and be in pain. I would have went down to the ship clinic where they could only do so much. Or if that I would have had to get evac'd off with a helicopter or have to get a plane on one of the islands. That would have been a whole other. That would have been very, very bad.
Yes.
Very bad. So yes, everything happens for a reason.
But then they did say that for some reason, kidney stones is a frequent thing that happens when people are on vacation. So
Yeah,
it gets flared up. So it's fine.
it gets flared up. Interesting. Let's see. Giant Peter show. In the words of Joey, they're so small. Yes.
But his is just stubborn.
Yeah, it is. It's part of me. It came from me, so it has to be stubborn. Let's see. Giant Peter show agrees with Mademoiselle. It would have been even worse for poor George. Thankfully, he didn't get to go. He didn't get it on the cruise. Yes. Yeah. Thankfully, the cruise is coming much later. So obviously, I'll still have the stent in me, but it'll be more progression down where it'll be less discomfort.
Yes.
Let's see. Mouseward Bound. I'm a flight crew member. I can't imagine dealing with this 40,000 feet in the air. Dude, you're one tough mother F. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, he really tried.
I tried hard.
Trooper.
I can't, but honestly, I don't know how I did it. I literally do not know how I did it. Thank God that we were flying to Florida from Texas because it was less than 2.5 hours. If it would have been a 3 or 4 hour flight,
yeah,
I probably wouldn't have made it. No. And thank God it wasn't an international flight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh Lordy. But thank you so much for the compliment. And yeah, Jacob Weller agrees. We got Jesse Adventure here. Glad you're out of the hospital. Hope you both are enjoying your vacation. Yes, now we are officially on vacation. Yes. We are officially on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Jacob says the Mummy is horrify riding. That's another ride actually. Well, the one in California shoots you off. The one here in Orlando, I think it clicks you up a hill.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's different?
Yeah.
Oh. I haven't been to the one here.
I forgot that's right. That's another ride that's in the Studios Park. Let's see. Giant Peter show. My sister did not eat for an entire day, including at Be Our Guest, due to her fear of riding Tron.
Oh.
So so wait, she didn't eat the entire day for the anticipation of riding Tron? If you can confirm that, Peter. Let's see, Lene. Is there anything as awful as Goofy's fly school in Orlando? I will say though that Goofy's Sky School, like the vehicles, they are so cramped to get in. Like literally, I don't know how. And the middle piece, as I said before, the Imagineers that built those things, they do know what men have down there, right? As I said, hashtag division sign. I'm trying to think if there's anything that Animal Kingdom used to have Primeval Whirl, which
about the same.
It's almost like that mouse coaster, but it actually spins like while you're going around. But that got removed early on before the rest of the removal of Dino Land. And we got Maybe in the house. Got to keep that coconut water and bone broth on you, George. Yes, that is very true. Yeah, I gotta take better care of myself for sure. as I said, this taught me big time that anytime, not saying that I won't ever have a soda again, not saying that I wouldn't ever have a sugar drink again, but I am going to monitor definitely how much I'm intaking and at least uh, drinking water with it for sure.
So thank you.
Huggies. Yes.
Yes, that's a thing.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is a thing.
It's the thing.
It's the thing. It's just the thing, as OG says.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jesse Adventure. Oh, you talking about the little hugs I bought that once. Wait. So sorry. You're talking about the little hugs I bought that once a year or two ago for my niece. I don't think she really liked it. Yeah, if it came like in like a barrel shaped, like where it has like the little silver thing where you pop like with a straw. Yeah, in Pittsburgh they sell them as Huggies. Lynette, what are other weird PA sayings? It is basically its own dialect. Can we get a video of you and Abby saying what you call different items? Example, umbrella. Yeah, actually, because what's actually funny, you say that, Lynette, because I was actually talking to my mom because we were going through a lot of different words and everything. I might convince my mom to actually come on. Now, she said that she wouldn't show herself, but she might come on via audio one of these times, and we'll go through a whole list of Pittsburghese and PA and East Coast stuff. And it's funny that you actually say umbrella because I got I started with Abby, but then she started passing along that I said a bumper shoot. And she's like, "What's a bumper shoot?" I said, "It's an umbrella." And she's like, "I've never heard of a bumper shoot." So literally, she's telling all like the family and church friends, and they're like literally like searching it, and they're like, "Wow, it really is called a bumper shoot." And they said, "What is that? Is that a PA thing?" I was like, "No, that's a British thing." And it's like,
my daughter was like, "What you talking about, George?"
Yes. She's like, "What's a bumper shoot?" Giant Peter show. I did Forbidden Journey when it had 3D glasses. It was too insane. Yeah, that's why they had to end the 3D glasses on that. It was like too. A lot of people said it was. A lot of people said that it was like very
nauseating.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but then there was another set of people that said that it was like really cool. But there was a lot more people that it was just too intense for them, and I think that's why too.
With the glasses, I don't remember.
I'm trying to remember if I did. I can't remember if I did with the glasses.
When did they have the glasses?
Does anyone know when they ended the glasses?
I don't remember.
But also too, Transformers.
This made me sick.
Transformers at Universal Hollywood. Now I don't know if it's going to be down here as well, but it's under refurbishment, and they're getting rid of the 3D glasses for Transformers.
No, yeah, that right makes me sick.
So that also makes her sick because when we went on it during, was it HHN? Mm-hmm. That gave her a really bad headache.
And then even the one in that ride in Legoland, that one that's supposed to be like Soarin', that kind of gave me a little. Oof.
Yeah. Shane Arani, probably should not be giving you this idea, but maybe you can ask to keep your kidney stone and send it as a gift to your ex. That's awesome. That's great. A little trophy. Lucas and Disney, Forbidden Journey is like really big anti-big bone ride for a casual ride. Try saying that 3 times fast. A friend of mine got kicked off the ride for being big, and the staff member just said sorry. Yeah, there are rides that you don't necessarily have to be large. It could just be the shape of your body. And unfortunately, Universal is notorious for making rides not big or big bone kind of friendly. Yeah, that's the one downside, and it's a shame too because I'd even say Tron, because when they brought Tron to Magic Kingdom, a lot of people couldn't go on it because the bar that comes up past the calf, a person could be skinny, but have thick calves, and they couldn't ride it because the barb wouldn't go past the calf because they brought the same model from over China. And I'm sorry, us Americans, we're not built like them. They're fit, they're lean, so yeah, so it is a shame. And Lucas continues, meanwhile, he was booted off in Disney Quest for the virtual roller coaster ride, and he got Fast Pass from Disney. Funny how customer service works between Disney and Universal. I will definitely say, okay, so I'm not going to say this to be a Universal hater, but I will say you definitely see, as far as I know, a little bit of the customer service is kind of all over the place with the team members. You ask a question and nobody has an answer. They can't give you a direct answer. And a lot of the times it may not be their fault, but it has to be coming up from higher management that they're not being trained properly. Because we had issues with our tickets today when we were trying to get into IOA, and they said the cards that we got, that's just for our hotel, that's not for the park, go to the ticket counter. We go to the ticket counter. She says,
I only see one
ticket. I'm like, but it's a package.
It doesn't even have Epic.
It doesn't even have Epic. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she said, oh, I see what they did. They charged you, refunded you, and then charged again. I was like, what? Like that didn't even make no sense. So I was getting really frustrated, and we ended up going over to guest relations, and I gave her the confirmation, and she brought it right up. She printed out our tickets, our 2-day, 2-park ticket, and then our express pass for Epic. And it's like, was it really that hard? Let's see, where are we? Mouseware Bond, thank God for fentanyl.
Yeah, he was pretty funny on fentanyl.
Yes. Forbidden Journey from me, they always say to cross my legs. Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting. Lucas and Disney. By the way, Epic Universe ran out of grand opening medallion and had limited in stocks, so they ended up giving away as NFT style paper ticket, while actual medallions is being sold on eBay for $5,000 each. Wow. That is crazy. That is crazy.
I was teasing him that Bob Iger didn't want him to film opening day of Epic, so he got the kidney stones.
Yeah. It was like Iger went into his like secret lair, like he had a hidden little room, and it was a bunny. He was like, release the stones.
He's like, I'm already losing OGT Universal. We can't lose the Italiana too.
But yeah, it's funny because even if we were going opening day, they only have like a certain amount, because there were when we went to the opening for Disneyland 70th, they were giving out specialty something at the entrance. We were there at opening, and we didn't get nothing. So that's how fast that they sold out. Let's see, Lene. The good stuff. When I had cornea surgery, I wandered off with an eye patch and was yarring aggressively at people. I was lured back with my phone, where I proceeded to take video of myself yarring.
Yep.
Good times.
Because then they brought him back to the room, and he was like, I was like, how do you feel? I feel great. I'm going to record something. I was like, okay, let's see what happens when that fentanyl wears
off. I was like, oh, man, I'm ready for vacation. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do it. And then a couple hours, I go into the bathroom. I had to go pee. I'm like, oh, my God. And then I come back out. I'm like, I don't want to pee again.
So it reminded me of the Look Who's Talking.
Yes, if any of you have seen the films Look Who's Talking, like when baby Julie was getting her vaccines, and Roseanne Barr does the voice like, "Oh my God!" That was me. That was me going into the bathroom, and then Abby says,
I'm
and
I'm like, okay, because he wakes up, he's like, I don't want to pee. I was like, come on, you're my big Italiano. Go pee pee in the potty. Pee pee in the potty.
and then we started singing that, and I'm like, no, seriously, do I really have to go?
Yes.
She's like, yes. I'm like, oh. Shane Narani says, I remember being stomped up for one plane ride, and how painful taking off and landing was for that. I can't imagine how painful it was for you. Yeah, it was very painful. It was here was the funny thing, Shane, that no matter what I did, like I could have been still, like I didn't even have to move, and the pain was still there. Like, like when if it was like it happened to be a muscle or something, and you turn or you move, you're like, oh, okay, I shouldn't turn that way. No matter what I did, I just could not get comfortable. So it was like no matter what was going on, it was just constant pain.
And I was like, I think it's a kidney stone.
Yeah. And what was funny too was the first flight that I felt a little bit, but it went away before it came back with vengeance. I asked when the stewardess came and she said, "What would you like to drink?" I asked for cranberry juice. And that was kind of odd of me because I usually either get like a Coke or a Sprite, but I asked for cranberry juice. So subconsciously, it's like my body was saying like, oh, you better maybe drink something else. And then I asked for a cup of water even after the cranberry juice, and I was in so much pain that I was like sucking on the ice chips just to kind of like calm myself. That was a nightmare. I will say that was a nightmare. Giant Peter show. On my cruise 2 years ago, we had a person who had a very bad medical emergency, and we were an hour out of Port Canaveral. Oh no, I'm sorry, out of port in Cabo. We got delayed 2 hours due to the emergency. Wow. Yeah, there have been times. I even think there was a cruise I was on that someone had to be medically flight out of the ship, but it didn't delay anything for us because we were out. It was a sea day. So they had to have that person medically evac, unfortunately. But what I do love about the Disney cruise is they'll give us, they won't say specifics, obviously, for the person's personal health, but they'll just give us to say, hey, the person's all right. They're doing okay. So they like to let people know. So that was always pretty good. Let's see. Giant Peter show. Oh, this is what he confirmed. My sister had a legit fear of riding Tron, and we had a 10:50 p.m. boarding group. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, so that's why she didn't eat. So she was like dreading it like the whole entire day. Crawford's on the go. Mission Space is worse than Goofy's. Totally different type of ride.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mission Space. Yeah, you have to have a whole kind of stomach to do Mission Space.
Yeah, and I don't have that stomach.
Yeah, no. Giant Pier show. Mission Space. My sister almost made them stop the ride. Oh wow. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Let's see. Giant Peter show. Did you guys hear about the news of the Top Gun experience going to Vegas in 2028? No, I did not. I did not hear anything with Top Gun. That's probably going to be really cool. But is it going to be like a flight simulator kind of thing? That'd be kind of cool. See, Giant Peter show. I actually used George as an example for one of my linguistics assignments as an example of slang in the East Coast. Yeah, nice, love it. Lene says, "Oh my God, George, Mom teaches us PA." Yes, yes. I'm gonna try to get her on. I talked to her about it. That I'll do it as a live, and I'll try to get her on. As I said, she's kind of self-conscious of like showing herself on camera, but she will definitely maybe come on audio for sure. Let's see, Jesse Adventure. I am 6'5". Space Mountain is very uncomfortable. Yes, the Space Mountain in Magic Kingdom. Yeah, if you're above a certain height, um, even if actually no, I'll take that back. Like the seats are just so crammed, but it's extra, I think, uncomfortable for tall people. Jesse, I didn't know you were 6'5". Wow, big dude.
I'm vertically challenged. So
Giant Peter Show. I can't do Secret Life of Pets. Tron is a pain because I have big calves, but still fit. But either way, I still enjoy it. Okay. Let's see. Lene. My sister just had a baby and didn't come to Universal with us. She explained to me how awful Universal is for anyone with a large chest. It broke my heart. Yeah, that's the thing with Universal is they're not inclined to the majority. You know, you have to, when you're building a ride, you have to keep everybody in mind. That everybody is not the same shape, size, fit, but we all have something in common that we all might want to experience the ride. So everyone should have that opportunity. And there's times where you just can't help it if you're big boned or big chested or even have a gut, have a stomach. You know, there's just times where, you know, you can't help it, but everyone should have that opportunity. And that's something that Universal does need to work on. Let's see. Giant Peter Show. There are legit moments where my feet near miss hitting the Forbidden Journey sets. Really?
Ooh.
Wow. Giant Peter Show. Yeah, Space Mountain as a 6'6" per. Wow, you guys are big. Even in the front row. Wow. Okay. Wow. Damn, man. So I could like picture like Peter and Jesse just like two bouncers. Like they're just like standing there, like you got a 6'5" and a 6'6", and they're like, and then there's me, the Italiano, 5'7" in between them. It's like, don't mess with me. I got my boys, Rocco and Muggsy. Let's see, Lene, the post-surgery potty song. Yes. Lucas, imagine you are 6'6" and you raise your arms in Space Mountain, but you didn't know what you did until you see the ride with all the lights revealed. Oh yeah. Yeah, because when you do see every like Space Mountain with the lights on, it's like it's crazy. Like you see like everything of the track and everything.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got Mr. Tech Bear here. Did they shave you for surgery? Have you lost your magical powers? Funny thing, Kev, that they didn't shave me because what I had done was what is it called? I'm drawing a blank.
It's a cystoscopy. So it's a little camera in a place that he does not want a little camera going into.
Yes, exactly. So they didn't have to shave me because they didn't have to cut or anything. However, they did place
the little electrodes
to monitor his heart to read my heart.
The poor nurses were like, "Where do we put it?"
And I thought, and they found like spots where they could fit it. But I thought, okay, if they have to shave me, I'm gonna look like a mano lantern. And literally, if that's the case, I am not going on the ship or the beach and taking my shirt off and having those spots everywhere. I would shave it clean. But what I would do is I would take a picture before I do it and then post it on social media so everyone can see my blots.
No, but they were very kind enough to find places for it. And then even for like his like IV, she was very gentle and found ways to not have to pull all his hair off.
Yeah. So they were very gentle.
Yes.
And thankfully, so especially where they had to go. Maswar Ban got booted off Forbidden Journey because I'm 6'2" and deep chested. Also, barely fit on Pets because of the restraint. That I agree. I feel like honestly, Pets is such a cool ride. and it's a nice dark ride that Universal can finally do a dark ride. I don't
But
understand
why
why
is
you have to be
such
so restrained in a ride that you travel half the speed of smell. I don't get it. Exactly. It's a freaking dark ride. It goes
Mhm.
a mile an hour. Why do I need a restraint? Like
Yeah,
I don't get that
I
myself.
agree with that
And
one.
especially too because um like even when you try to give yourself some leadway,
They
they'll push it down
yeah.
all the more. Like, where am I going?
Yeah.
Giant Peter show the Top Gun experience is a full experience involving the bar from the movie, flight simulators, other attractions,
Oh,
merch, and
okay.
food. Nice. It's nice to actually see that Vegas is getting a lot more of those experiences because like they're even doing like with the horror unleashed with Universal, so they're like really like dipping into theme park experiences without it actually being in a theme park. So that's really cool. I like that. Really like that. Lene says, pretty sure some of the lap bars aren't even for safety. It's so people don't get out of the ride and steal shit from the scenes.
Maybe.
Just put sensors on those rides, like if you go over the line at the bowling. Exactly. Like for me, like that's I would never do it, but I'm just saying, like if someone like were to get out and like you're walking out with two audio animatronic dogs, like these are
They're
my
so
pups. Like
cute.
these are my pups,
Yeah.
you know? It's like, but yeah, like if that is the case, because I do know that there are people that tend to go off into
Were they not
you know,
supposed
we're not
to?
supposed to, you know, and they take stuff that's not theirs. And I get it, but yeah, just have a just have a an alarm system
Mhm.
that, or if someone like the Haunted Mansion, for instance, my good friend Mindy, she went to Mickey and Minnie's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and she was wearing like a dress that was part of her costume, and the dress was hanging out of the doom buggy. Well, it hit the the alarm thing. It just touched the ground. The whole ride completely shut down, and they had to
See?
reset the whole
Mhm.
thing. And they realized that, oh, because her dress was hanging out of the doom buggy, it's like, well, that's why.
Mhm.
So just have it like that. It's like, everyone should have the opportunity to ride it. Giant Peter show. I almost broke my wrist on Space Mountain due to the large arm's length too. Oh
Oh,
wow. Okay. Yeah, here's
you
the
have to
thing
be
with
careful.
Magic Kingdom Space Mountain. I'm not a fan of it. Um, Even if I didn't have what happened to me these last few days, I wasn't going on Space Mountain
I
anyway.
did go on that one.
And especially because she also has back issues.
Mhm.
That would probably kill her back. But Disneyland Space Mountain, I absolutely love. We'll ride it. And also, too, I have a little funny story. I don't know if any of you know this, but when we were at Disneyland, we rode Peter Pan's flight. And I thought she knew, but I think you all know, like at the very end of the ride, how it comes in kind of hot, where it like bangs and jerks you like
Yeah, I
before
didn't
you
know
get out.
that.
She didn't know that, and it like twinged her back. But no, she didn't mean to do this, but it just came out of things. She went, just this ride broke my fucking back. And
Oh my
it was like, and
god.
she shouted. I was like, "Oh my god! Like, are you okay?" And everything. She's like, and then we went on Mr. Toad. No, it wasn't Mr.
Oh, we
Toad. Sorry, it was
went to
Indiana
Indiana
Jones.
Jones, and I'm
And
like
waiting in line, she was like, "Can you pull my arms and like stretch?" I'm
stretching
pulling her
back.
on, and she let this loudest scream out, like right in the middle of the outdoor
Cute.
queue line. And oh my gosh! And then we went on. What was what was it you said to try to like unkink it, but it
I already was having back issues, so I was like, "Hey, since Peter Pan broke my back the last time, maybe it will twist it back this time." So we went on it. Here I go. I was like, "Shit!" It broke it. It went back the other way. It just made it worse.
it just made it worse. So Disneyland's Peter Pan is not her friend.
No,
No, Magic Kingdoms I think is a little bit more smoother, I believe.
I don't know.
Let's see.
I don't trust that. Just like I don't trust the birds.
Yep, she don't trust the birds. Epic Berserker. Did Universal refund for the room while away? See, you guys keep on mentioning that, and I actually said it too. They didn't offer it, but I might mention it to them, especially since you're all mentioning it too, because we literally, and if they want proof, I have my papers. I have my pills. Aside from my crazy pills, but yeah. My prescription pills, like they could see the dates when I was in there, but I did make them aware that I wasn't here for the first 2 nights, and they said, "Is there anything we can do?" I'm like, yeah, I'm like ready to even ask them, can I get comped the 2 nights? Because technically, we weren't in the room. We didn't use it. We didn't sleep here. Nothing. We were in the room for maybe 10 to 15 minutes tops, and we were gone. I was in the hospital. They admitted me, and the 2 nights, the room just sat stagnant. So I'm curious to see if they would, if they could, and if they can't even refund me, but maybe, as I said, give me like a credit to use for future use, because I will use it. If they give me a 2 night credit, I'll book a vacation to come back. Maybe sometime like later in the year or next year. I definitely would. Let's see. Giant Peter Show says RC Racer in Paris is also very bad due to the load station ceiling being very low, and yet again my arms. I was curious about the RC Racer. It looked kind of fun because it had like the back and forth, and it had what I call the watermelon shaped track. But I could see how that could be pretty bad. We have Dragon Blood here. Hello, everyone. Glad to see you're doing better. Thank you, Dragon Blood. I really appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. Well, folks, it is little past an hour of this live. I know it's getting late for all of you, and I know it's getting late for us because we got a big day tomorrow.
Really?
We're going to Epic Universe, and as I said, I will be creating content for you all. I'm going to try to go live. But as I said, even with the content and live, I'm going to probably do it after we do our experiences first, because we're going to because we have the express. So I want to try to get everything in, because it is also going to be a Saturday. See, we were going opening day, and our good friend Jared, Capture the Magic, said it was very light crowds, but I think it was because the park technically was already opened, and it was a Thursday. Now we're going on a Saturday. I think things are going to be a little bit different tomorrow, I think. But that's why I'm glad I was able to move the express pass. We're going to utilize it. And then I'll get on camera. I'll record. I'll walk around. We'll talk about our thoughts of our experiences. And then, as I said, hopefully with tech, because you never know, I'll definitely try to go live, and I'll take you through a walkthrough of Epic Universe along with us. So definitely keep an eye out. As I said, I don't want to promise anything, but just keep an eye out, notifications. If you're on Instagram, you'll see if we're going to go live at Epic. If not, you will be getting content in video form.
Yes. But once again, just thank you, everyone.
Yes.
For your positive vibes, your prayers while we were going through this. Luckily, he's back and recovering well. So,
yes,
I appreciate it.
Yes, and I do too. Honestly, thank you so much to everybody. It really means a lot. Even though I may seem like I have a tough exterior, I'm a teddy bear. I wear my heart on my sleeve and my balls in a sling. So that's just how I roll. And it was very humbling and very sentimental, honestly, that of how you guys kept me going. Mm-hmm. You literally, you gave me hope when I thought I didn't have any, and I couldn't be more grateful. So yes. I love and appreciate every single one of you, and so I'm still here. We're still going. We're gonna take you guys along with us. We got Epic Universe tomorrow. as I said, we'll try to go live. We also got our 5, and then we got another day at Universal. We may go to the studio or we may go to Islands of Adventure. I don't know. They still couldn't give us an answer of what we could do. I'll try to see if there's any content worth recording there. But then we also got 5 days at Walt Disney World, and then our 5-night cruise on the Magic, which unfortunately I won't be able to go live, but I'll try to record as much as I can. And then when we get back into Florida, and then also fly over to California, that may take a few days to get the cruise stuff up, but there will be content with that as well, because I want you guys to see Abby's first reaction on her first Disney cruise.
Yes.
So, oh yes, a Giant Peter show. Will you guys go live again tomorrow night to talk more about Epic? Okay, that's actually an idea, Peter. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe I'll try to still go live in the park. If I'm having any technical issues, we'll come back and we'll do a live and we'll talk all about it. And so you might have a 2-parter. I like that idea. Thank you for the thank you for the idea. So to everybody who is part of oh wait, hold on a second. We got someone else here. We got Laura Babcock Cusson. I do apologize if I'm not pronouncing that right. Enjoy your vacation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I haven't seen her forever.
So I'm gonna, as I do on here, I'm gonna thank everybody. Lene Ward, Laura, Giant Peter Show, Shane Narani, Dragon Blood, Jesse Adventure, Remy D. Let's see. Oh, Remy D, really quick. Yeah, so sorry you missed this. As I said, keep an eye out for the notifications. We're going to try to go live at Epic tomorrow. And also, as I said, if we don't, we will do a live like this tomorrow night. So definitely keep an eye out for it. Let's see, where was I? Epic Berserker. Let's see. Mossword Bond, Mr. Tech Bear, Lucas and Disney. Let's see. Crawford's on the go. Shane Narani. Maybe. Let's see. You don't want to miss anybody. Jacob Weller, Mademoiselle. Isis. Tommy Toon. Suman, Sani. Again, I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that correctly.
I blame his PA accent.
See, it's the PA accent. It is all the time. And Mark McHugh and Mr. Theme Park Conductor. Thank you all so much. Again, so glad to still be doing this with all of you. And again, thank you for everything that
we appreciate you all.
We really do. And as we wrap this up, as I said, definitely keep an eye out, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And as I always say in Disney Italiano fashion, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay Disney. Italiano out.